Alright, how y'all doing? I tried to record a video last time and actually edit it and everything, but for those of you that don't know, well, it's pretty obvious. I do everything from my phone, everything. So I try to edit it on my phone, but basically I didn't have enough storage for it. So this video is gonna be all in one shot, the way God intended. And today, what we're gonna be talking about, man, is basically not conforming, bro. Not conforming. And I know that sounds cheesy, but it's this is something that you have to understand. To achieve anything worthwhile, you have to understand not conforming. Because, bro, you will always average out to the 5 people you spend the most time with. Every single time, you will always average out. For example, when I first came up to San Marcos, all of my friends smoked a ton of weed. So naturally, in that period of time, I smoked a ton of weed myself. I don't do that anymore, but that's to say that I basically, in that environment, that's what I defaulted to. That became the new normal. And conversely, this can happen to almost anything. So, for example, you can flip this. So, for example, let's say you're in a sales job, and your job is to sell things and stuff like that. If you hang out with the top salesman and you spend time with them, you ask them questions, even if it's about non-sales related stuff, but you just hang out with them, your numbers are gonna go up. Your performance will improve, and that's logical, bro. It makes sense. But here's the trap. The trap is that what you see around you will become your normal. So, and you'll forget to think outside the box. That's the problem. So what I mean by this is that, let me go back to holding it this hand. What I mean by this is that you'll forget to think big, bro. You have to think big, because if you don't, you're not going to achieve anything worthwhile. But also, these environments where you have all of these people imposing ideas upon you and imposing goals upon you and discussing the reality of the situation, quote unquote, with you, that may be more harmful to your progress and success than good for your progress. You know what I mean? Let's say you've heard a million times before, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? And then you're like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I gotta find people that are successful. So you go on five friends that all make $100,000 a year, and that's a good income. That's good money. But subconsciously, where that puts you, or not subconsciously, but where that puts you is in a position where you think, I have to achieve $100,000 a year, and you never even think beyond that. You never even think, what if I could make $1 million? What if I can make that in a month? What if I can make that in a day? You start to think small, because everyone around you is also thinking small. So it's put it to you this way. When ants are in a jar, you put a bunch of ants in a jar, is some of the ants are going to start to want to climb out. And the other ants, they're gonna actively drag them down. They're gonna actively pull them down. They're not gonna let them escape. So the ants are all holding each other down. And then, eventually, all of the ants collectively give up. None of them even try to escape. Like, none of them are like holding each other down, pushing each other up, nothing. Like, they're just there. They accept the reality of their situation. And then they just end up there. And that is the trap that I want you to avoid, because it is so common, bro. It's so common. And you have to wake up to it. You have to. If you're ambitious, you have to wake up to it. Like, the problem with accepting other people's goals, man, is that those goals are for them. They're not for you, you know? Your goals are unique to you, and the only way you're gonna find your own goals is through like sitting down and like staring at a wall and just thinking. You know, maybe reading some books, maybe like educating yourself on like what a good life looks like, you know? Like, look at your job, bro. Would you be okay showing up there for the next 6 months? Probably. The next year? Maybe. Next 2 years? Possibly. Next 5 years? Perhaps. 10? I don't know about all that. 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50. That's when it becomes unlikely. But you have to be the one to make that choice. Because nobody can make it for you. You know? And that's not to say to quit your job. I know a lot of my messaging often comes across as that. And it's not, really. Like, but everything comes in seasons. Where, like, you have seasons of growth, seasons of change, seasons of hard work, seasons where you just put your head down and you just get to work, and like there's not much time for anything. But conversely, there's also seasons of relaxation, seasons of joy, seasons of like happiness and travel. So, you know, depending on the season that you're in, what you do is gonna differ greatly. You know, you might be in a season of grinding it out. You might be in a season of expansion, and you're the only one that's gonna know that. I don't know what it is for you. You don't know what it is for me. I can tell you, for me, it's a season. It's iffy, man. For me, it's a season of hard work and grinding it out right now. And that's okay. I'm okay with that, because that's what I signed up for. That's another thing that we can get into, is like everything you experience in your life. Well, not everything you experience, not every single thing, but on a broad scale, your circumstances were chosen by you. You know, I chose my current circumstances. I chose where I want to live, where I want to work at, what I want to do with my day, you know, the people I want to talk to. I choose all of that. The places I want to go, I choose. And so right now, I chose to film a video. So for you, and why did I choose to film a video? It's simple. The season I'm in is hard work, right? That's not to say that whipping out my phone and filming a video is hard work. I'm not I'm not that like conceited, but that is to say though that it aligns with the season that I'm in. You know, where I have to expand. I have to get better at what I do. I have to get better at building my personal brand. I have to get better at everything, you know? So this is where I'm at. I hope this helps you conceptualize where you're at. And I hope this helped you. These talks, man, I basically do them as if I was talking to like a younger version of myself from not even that long ago, like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, stuff like that. So if this helped you, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I will be giving more talks like this. Maybe eventually I'll shift away from the phone and actually do it with a camera and like edit it on my computer and stuff like that. But for this season that I'm in, it's a lot more convenient to do it from my phone. So that being said, take care.